Good morning to you, Craig and Vanessa. These new guidelines are meant to come out every 5 years. These are some dramatic shifts that we're seeing that could really change the way America eats, especially our youngest Americans, since these guidelines will directly impact what is fed to 30 million American school children every day.
As Secretary of Health and Human Services, my message is clear: eat real food.
As part of the Make America Healthy Again strategy, the federal government radically changing dietary guidelines to tackle the epidemic of obesity and chronic disease in our nation. The main points: doubling protein intake recommendations to eat protein at every meal, eating full-fat dairy with no added sugar, whole fruits and vegetables throughout the day, healthy fats, meat, seafood, eggs, nuts, seeds, olives, and avocados, increasing whole grains and limiting refined carbs, and limit processed food and sugar.
I think meat and full-fat dairy are fine in moderation, but the guidelines also talk about the need to balance calories appropriately and to keep saturated fat at 10% of calories, which is going to be very hard to do if you're eating full-fat dairy and meat.
The change in recommendations meant to tackle America's illnesses. 90% of all healthcare spending is on treating chronic disease, much brought on by diet and lifestyle. More than 70% of adults are overweight and obese in our nation, and those problems start early in life, with nearly a third of all teens having prediabetes. The guidelines go on to urge everyone to avoid packaged and ready-to-eat foods that are salty or sweet, linked to diabetes and obesity. Sugar coming under fire, with the new guidelines saying no amount of sugar or sweeteners is considered part of a healthy diet. Americans now consume about 17 teaspoons a day. The new guidance saying no one meal should have more than 2 teaspoons.
With only 10% of calories meant to come from saturated fats, some nutritional experts are questioning this emphasis on meat and dairy, especially since half of the panel that made these new recommendations have deep ties to the meat industry. We're live this morning on the Upper West Side. I'm Kirsten Cole, Pix 11 News. Back to you, Craig and Vanessa.